Most people think all white noise machines are basically the same, just a speaker playing static. They are wrong. I've tested the top-rated models for 2026, from $20 travel units to $70 smart devices, and the difference is massive. The gap between a cheap digital loop and the #1 pick on this list is literally the difference between waking up annoyed and getting the best deep sleep of your life. It's not just about volume, it's about the quality of the sound engineering. The winner on this list uses a completely different technology than the rest, and honestly, at its price point, it's kind of a steal.
Buying guide. Before we get to the rankings, here are 3 things the spec sheets won't tell you about choosing the best white noise machine. Number 1 is the loop trap. Cheaper machines often use short, 30-second recordings that repeat. Your brain is wired to find patterns, so if you subconsciously hear that loop click every 30 seconds, it's going to keep you awake instead of putting you to sleep. You need non-looping audio. Number 2 is the brown noise factor. Most people look for white noise, which is high-pitched like static. But for deep focus or blocking out heavy snoring, you actually want brown noise. It's deeper, rumbly, and much less harsh on the ears. Finally, check the power paradox. If you're buying for travel or a nursery, don't just look for battery-powered. Look for rechargeable versus alkaline. Replacing AAs every week gets expensive fast. With those tips in mind, let's start the countdown with number 5.
5. Homedics SoundSleep White Noise Machine. Best budget and travel pick. If you just need something simple that works without breaking the bank, the Homedics SoundSleep is your best bet. It's light, compact, and gives you exactly what you need for around 24 bucks. Here's the deal with the specs. It comes with 6 digitally recorded sounds, including white noise, thunder, rain, and ocean. But the standout feature for many users is the dual power option. You can plug it into a standard wall outlet or run it on 4 AA batteries. This is huge if you're traveling to a hotel with limited outlets or camping where power isn't guaranteed. Real-world usage? It's surprisingly effective for its size. One user mentioned using it specifically to drown out a neighbor's dog, and despite being a small plastic disc, it masked the barking enough to let them sleep. Another buyer mentioned the summer night setting, which sounds like crickets, is strangely effective if you grew up in the country and miss those ambient noises. However, there is a limitation. It's a budget machine, and you can tell. Some users report that after a while, the volume knob can get a bit staticky or touchy. But for the price of a few fancy coffees, it's a solid, no-frills entry point into sound therapy. 4. Fisher-Price Soothe and Snuggle Otter. Best for newborns and cuddling. Moving on to something completely different. If you're shopping for a newborn or a baby shower gift, the Fisher-Price Soothe and Snuggle Otter is a tech-savvy parent's secret weapon. This isn't just a speaker, it's a sensory device. The killer feature here isn't just the sound, it's the mechanical breathing motion. The otter's belly actually moves up and down rhythmically to mimic a sleeping animal. Combined with 30 minutes of music or white noise, it taps into a baby's natural instinct to sync their breathing with a parent. It's rated 4.7 stars with over 53,000 reviews for a reason. I've seen reports from sleep-deprived parents who say this thing is practically magic. One mom mentioned her baby usually takes an hour to settle, but with the otter's heartbeat setting and the belly motion, they were out in 10 minutes. It's also machine washable, which, let's be real, is mandatory for anything going into a crib. Just remove the electronics module and you can toss the plush skin in the wash. The downside, the mechanical gear that creates the breathing motion makes a slight whirring noise. It's not loud, but if you're holding it right up to your ear, you'll hear it. Also, it runs on AA batteries, so have backups ready. But for settling a fussy infant, it's unbeatable.
Next up is the Dreamegg D11 Max, and this is the one I'd recommend for active families or frequent travelers. While other portable units struggle to last through the night, the Dreamegg is an absolute battery beast. The spec that matters here is the 1800 milliamp hour rechargeable battery. Most competitors in this portable class sit around 500 milliamp hour. That means the D11 Max doesn't just last for a nap. It powers through the entire night and into the next day on a single charge. It fits in the palm of your hand, weighs practically nothing, and comes with a lanyard to hook onto a stroller or car seat. Real talk, this thing is a lifesaver for on-the-go naps. One parent shared that they used it during a power outage and it kept haunting all night when their plug-in machines died. It's got 21 soothing sounds, including a fan sound that's shockingly deep and rich for a speaker this tiny. It's not perfect. Some users find the buttons a bit hard to identify in the dark since they're flush with the casing. But considering it costs less than 20 bucks and solves the nap anywhere problem, it's a must-have for your travel bag. If you want the Tesla of baby sound machines, you get the Hatch Rest. This is the number 2 pick because it completely replaces 3 different gadgets: your sound machine, your nightlight, and your time to rise alarm clock. The magic here is the app control. You can adjust the color, brightness, sound, and volume from your phone without stepping into the room and risking waking the kid up. The time to rise feature is a game changer for toddlers. You program it to turn green at 6:30 a.m., teaching them, hopefully, to stay in bed until the light changes. The user stories on this are wild. One dad described it as a miracle machine that stopped his 20-month-old from waking up at 4 a.m. By using the red light for sleep and green for wake up, they trained their kid to self-soothe. Plus, it looks sleek on a nightstand, not like a clunky medical device. But I have to keep it real with you. It relies on Wi-Fi. A significant chunk of users have reported connectivity issues, where the app struggles to find the device if your Wi-Fi is spotty. It's annoying when you're trying to change the volume fast. However, for the sheer amount of functionality packed into one device, it's the undisputed king of the nursery. And finally, the number 1 best white noise machine for 2026 is the Yogasleep Dome Classic. This is the OG, the original machine invented in 1962, and it takes the top spot because it does the one thing that matters most better than anyone else. It creates real sound. Unlike every other machine on this list that plays a digital recording, the Dome actually has a physical fan inside a specialized acoustic housing. There are no loops, no bad speakers, and no digital artifacts. It creates the natural, rushing sound of moving air without the cold breeze. You twist the cap to adjust the tone and volume by physically opening or closing air vents. For drowning out noise, this is unmatched. I found a review from someone living 10 feet away from their neighbor's house who dealt with non-stop barking dogs. They said this machine made the external world melt away. Another user mentioned it's the only thing that works for blocking out a partner's snoring because the frequency of the mechanical fan masks human speech and snoring perfectly. The limitation? It's not loud enough for a rock concert. It maxes out at a safe, soothing level, and it's mechanical, so it will rattle eventually if you drop it. But if you want pure, organic, non-looping sound to help you focus or sleep, this is the gold standard. It's simple, effective, and built to last.
So, here's the bottom line. If you need a cheap fix for travel, grab the Homedics. If you're surviving the newborn phase, the Fisher-Price Otter or Hatch Rest are your best friends. But if you just want the highest quality sound for deep sleep, the Yogasleep Dome is the one to beat. I've left links to all of these below. Check them out for the latest pricing. If this helped you get some rest, smash that like button and subscribe for more tech that actually improves your life. Catch you in the next one.